very good evening to ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'm very much thankful to the Sportstar for organizing this sports conclave in the state of Goa, which is taking the sports to the next level as we have organized the 37th National Games Goa 2023. I was just listening to the panelist regarding the sports culture, how we want to develop the sports, what is the role, and the last question which has been come from the audience regarding there is a lot of equipments which has been brought up in the state of Goa for successful organization of the national games, and whether our infrastructure which has been created is put in place or it is in useful for the athletes or not. But before I start, I will just say that in the state of Goa, it is a great moment and the proud moment for the Goans. For organizing the 37th National Games was a dream, which was a dream of the every Goan. And the entire Indian players, athletes, the professionals, and everyone was looking forward for hosting and participated in the state of Goa. But while hosting the 37th National Games, it is not an easy task, but it is a very challenging work. And of course, we had a very sleepless nights almost for 3 months prior to the our commencement of the games. But if we want to organize any kind of game or the tournament, we need to have a very meticulous planning. And that is what, as per, this is not my statement, it is the statement of my all young athletes, the budding minds, who has commented, and also the experienced people who have been to the different games, for example, the Asian Games, Olympic Games, and they have made a statement that it was the finest organization about the 37th National Games. And we had given our best to welcome all the athletes. In terms of hospitality is concerned, Goa is very honest and hospitality is taking at the top priority, and that is why Athithi Devo Bhava, this phrase is very important to the Goan. I am very much thankful to the each and every the sports person who has given the inputs at the right time. Also, their suggestions had made these 37th National Games very great success as per all the reports are concerned. But my dear friends, sports is such a field where we have to always tackle each and every difficulties. If we go back long, 40 years back or 30 years of time, I think there was no good infrastructure in the entire country. But still, our Indian athletes were shining at the entire globe. There are some difficulties, but we cannot avoid it. For example, the coaches are concerned. Once upon a time, the coaches were totally, they were giving the best with their local talent. Local talent, what I will say that they have not passed out their NIS and all that. Now everybody is asking for the NIS coach, and it is mandatory for the government to consider that qualification, because unless and until we not have a professional coaches, it is very difficult. But let us be very practical. Apart from these NIS coaches or the well-professional coaches, the experience counts. The person who has put everything during his practice, but he don't have a degree, that makes a difference. If we go for the as per the actual their qualification or desirable requirements, it is very difficult us to find out a kind of coaches what we are expecting. Uh, this issue was also been addressed during the national conference, sports national conference, in the presence of the honorable our sports minister and union minister for sports, Shriman Anurag ji, and every secretaries of the respective states, the every ministers of the respective states, and the person from the sports fraternity has raised this is the only issue that we do not have a sufficient coaches. Now, the question before the government and the question before the athletes, from where we should get the coaches. There are coaches who has got a very handsome the qualification, but what about the results? We, being me as a sports minister for the state of Goa, I am having a lot of coaches. But what is the result? What is the outcome? I'll be very vociferous at this conclave, because I'm very sorry to say that also, because frequently I'm saying this. Not only this is my concern, this is the concern of all the ministers whenever we have attended the national conference, that most of the coaches in the government, they are not taking very seriously. Now, what is the reason? Then who has to be held responsible? That is a big question. Sports is running on the basis of the federations and the association. Now, these associations, these federations plays a very vital role in upliftment of the sports. But I would have not say the 100%, but the 70% of these associations who chairing the different position are only meant for the position. Everything you cannot expect from the government, whether it is a central government or whether it is a Goa government. My simple question to all these people, before asking a question to the government, you should ask this question to self, what is the contribution we have given into the field? Then if everything will be taken care of the government, why we require the association? Why we need the federations? Let the government take the show ahead. That is my point. But it is a responsibility, and as far as I am not going to talk about the past, but whenever I shoulder the responsibility of the sports department, there will be no athletes, there will be no association who has approached me or my department for want of infrastructure. I am always positive, and even though it is not in the capacity, it is not in the capabilities, I've assured them for the 100% whatever the existing infrastructure is there. But every associations, every federations, they don't want to put more efforts. There are few. And particularly, the sports is not particular about the 40 days of time when the games are going to be commenced. But it has to be a continuously practice and practice and practice and practice. But what is the role of the today's athletes or the associations or the federation? What I've experienced in these 2 years of time, that everybody wants to be a king, direct king. But to the best of my knowledge, if we want to become a king in the respective field, first of all, they have to shoulder the responsibility or the role of the pawn. Then only it is possible. And whenever a person is sitting to the king's chairs or their individual field, I think whatever the difficulties, whatever the hardships they have faced to reach from the grassroots level to the captainship or the king level, they have crossed a very thorny journey. that nobody is admiring, that nobody is calculating. But whenever we want to become a king, or whenever we want to become a very professional, or the laurels winner, medal winner, then we have to come. There is no shortcut for the sports. There is no shortcut for the anything. There is no shortcut for the success. And that is why I'm just giving one example. I think everybody now, the cricket word has been uttered on this by the panelist and from the audience also. Sourav Ganguly has been born and brought up in the king's family. But he has also played a vital role of the 12th man. He is supposed to give a towel, he is supposed to give a gloves or anything, whatever the 11 players which is required at the field. He has never said that because I am born to that king's family, it is not my duty. What is the problem, the major problem in the minds of the athletes, of the players? This work I have to do. That should not be happen, because our thoughts should be very transparent. Because sports, there is no any caste, community, creed. There is no any rich person. Everybody. And because the sports, especially the 90% of sports athletes has come from the very weaker background. If we take the example of the Virat Kohli, once upon a time, we all the people, Indians, were asked him to resign, to take the retirement. But because he was not playing, he was not batting properly. But after consistency and after having a 3 years of game and focusing on that particular profession, he has come back into the game, cricket game, and now he is playing century after century and after century. My intention is only to tell this. The focus and the practice is very important. But what is happening among the athletes who are playing for the country, who are playing for the state, that if we lose for 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, we are changing our professions. And what is the root cause? Root cause is the parent. Root cause is the association. Root cause is the federation. Because they have to give a motivating skill. They want to counsel to that player. Then only it is possible that player to be into the game. There are so many examples. If we take Mary Kom, who has also invited for the 37th National Games, without any resources, he bounced at the world. How is it possible? Were there any resources when she has played for the world, for the India? No. But instead of blaming for the non-availability of this infrastructure, it is very wrong. Existing infrastructure which is already there in the every part, I think with that existing infrastructure, we have to give the best. What is success? Success is not mean by creating, it is mean that having the worst and giving the best in their life. And that is what we have to achieve. Arjit Singh, when he was thrown out from the Indian Idol, now he is charging 5 crores rupees in a one show, 2.5 hours of time. He has not changed his profession. We have to focus on this point, whether the strong athletes is going to change the profession or not. Most of the time, our athletes are changing the professions. If I take an example of the Michael Holding, who was a very strong player, he was out of the game, but still he bounced back. Somebody has taken the name of the Michael Phelps. What is the story of the Michael Phelps? This is the inspiring stories have to be told to the athletes. Then only it is possible us to go ahead with the medals, or we can fly high. But nobody is doing this. Everybody is blaming for the infrastructure. Everybody is blaming for the government. But that is why I put my simple question, what government is doing, that it is the people who should ask what we have contributed. What we have contributed for the sporting field. And I am very sorry. There is a lot of politics. Actually, politics has to be played by the politician. But politics has been played in the associations. It is in the federation. Who are going to complain with this? This is we, the sports star, the news media has to come out with the, when it is very easy to talk against the government. But what is the wrong deeds has been done by this? There is every association, there is every federation, there is a quarrel. For whom? Where we are going to go with this quarrel? Or we are spoiling the life of that athletes. I am talking very, I am talking in this very experientially. We are having athletes who has got the speed of the deer who is running almost 80 kilometers per hour. But even though they are running 80 kilometers per hour, a cheetah who is running 60 kilometers per hour, cheetah gets the deer into the trap. Why? Because deer is looking back whether this cheetah is come or trapping her, he is going to kill me or not. There is a fear in the minds of the deer, and that is why the deer comes into the trap of the cheetah or the tiger. It's the same way. It is the same way. The associations and the federations are many people from the among that management is after the athletes. Because they are having a fear in their minds. If we complain about the federation people, if we complain about the association people, they are going to ruin our sporting life. That is a fear in the minds of the athletes. These are the things we have to think at distinct level. Then only it is possible our sports to take to the next level. My dear friends, I think most of the athletes who are sitting over here, sometimes they are also joining to the gym, or they were supposed to go into the gym. But a person who is going into the gym for 5 years, he's after practicing, he is lifting the heavy weights. A person joins 5 days of time, he cannot lift that weight what 5 years person is lifting. Because his mind has to be very strong. I'm always telling that legends are not born in the hospitals. Legends hospital में पैदा नहीं होते. Legends तो सड़कों पर ठोकरे खा के बनते हैं. How many athletes or how many people has motivated, has given a platform to this kind of people? We are investing a lot of money for the different kind of parties, for the different our gesture of life. But whose concern it is? It is not the concern of us people to promote one athlete, to take the responsibility of the athletes who can give a name and fame to my country. And that is what we are requiring. That is what the discussion, the debate has to be done at the every level. There are so many people who are spending a lot of money from their pockets, because afterward we have to give something back to the country. And that is why the sports is such a field where we have to always focus and we have to promote the talent. While selection of the team also, I think there is a lot of confusion what I faced in the 37 national games. In the every association, I'm not talking about my state, but every state I'm talking about. Last moment, when we are going to select the team, it is possible a teamwork, or coordination, or cooperation. There should be a mutual understanding about the player. First of all, they should understand their minds. Then only it is possible we can expect a result from them. It is the responsibility of the association. It is the responsibility of the federation. It is, you cannot hold a responsible only for the government. Government for the 37th national game, government has given has rendered every support. Every support. But after giving a support, these are the only people, from the association's people, Whether it is possible, Goa, it is not possible, Goa to hold the national games. They will spoil the name. These are all our people were talking about my national games. Because they have not prepared. Because we have prepared. The person who is going to take the initiative, he knows what is the time management, how we have to plan. We have got, because I always admire the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who is very, very important, who has played a very vital role in planning, running the government, everything. The how to get with the time management, how to get the proper planning, and we also know. Actually, it was the responsibility of the association, the federation, or all the people who is wanted, because after we are playing for our country, these people have started, and I started receiving the call from the different federation. Array, there is no preparation has been going on, has been taken place in the state of Goa. Then how we are going to? Because for answering this question, I have wasted my time, lot of time. Even lot of tensions also has been arose at that time. So these are the things when we are not going to support each other, when we are not going to shoulder the responsibilities, or when we are not going to help to each other, it is not possible us to take the sports to the next level. Once upon a time, our Honorable Prime Minister, Shriman Narendra Ji Modi, was preaching only for the tourism industry. Last 2 years back, Narendra Modi, wherever he is going outside the country, he is preaching only about the sports. Because in the national education policy also, the government has taken every care that the sports personality and the art and culture person will be taken, will be given a very due recognition. That is the one sort of a motivation. But where we are thinking about, whom we are holding responsible, that is the biggest question we have to answer. And then only it is possible. All of us, because it is a teamwork. And now every athlete, somebody has uttered that the Michael Phelps is having a very long leg. That's why he has clinched a lot of medals. I'm very sorry about this, what I have said. Because once upon a time, if we take the example of the Mike Tyson, at 40 years back or 50 years back, the coaches or the selection was on the basis of the how tall he is, how his shoulder is big, everything. Now, after becoming a champion for so many decades, a small Tengu, a Mike Muhammad Ali is defeating to the 5 times champion. Now there are so many athletes. I have understand that it is not on that line. Because we have to work very smart. The smart work itself, having a 5 letters, that is a SMART, it always defines that S stands for specific. Do we have our specific goal? Or whenever we are going to train to an athlete, whenever we are shouldering the responsibilities, do we have the specific goal of after certain years of time where we are going to reach? M stands for miserable. Miserable means whether that athletes or any person, when we are going to hand the shoulder responsibility, whether it is possible him to take the responsibilities. A stands for achievable, whether that person can be achieve the goal or not, because these all the things to be answered. R stands for realistic, T stands for time bound. When we are going to, because once upon a time there was a very high importance to the hard work. Now hard work has been replaced by the smart work. Smart word, because that word has got a very powerful meaning. Everybody is working very hard. Every person who is born in this world is working very hard for his bread and butter or for his goal, achieving goals. But for achieve the goals, what we required is that the motivation. What we required is that the support. What we require is that positive attitude, positive approach, the perseverance, the persistence, passion, positive energy, everything what we want into that chosen selection of these athletes. And that is why when we are going to come together, then only it is possible. Let us take the politics aside, because we should not, politics should not be entered into the sports. That is the first, and because I think most of the association people are sitting over here. Being me as a sports minister, I have never called up to them, Baba, you take this person, you take that person, but I'm giving strict instruction to my association or the selection team. You have to give the opportunities to the athletes or the players who is going to select on their merits. On their merits. Merit speaks everything. Then only it is possible to achieve or expect something from the athletes. And this is what this conclave, and I'm very much thankful to the Sportstar who is giving each and every the reports from the entire globe. And by listening this or reading this, everyone has to understand, but nobody is talking. Who wants? But it's not for me. Though I am a Goan, though I am an Indian, why I have to take the enmity of the other people from that group? We should have a daring to pin out. We should have that daring to ask the question. I'm welcoming, because the day one I have shouldered the responsibilities, I've asked all the associations, all the federation, all the players, whatever you want to ask, you ask us. Whatever the best service we can, we'll definitely deliver, because we are here to give the best services to my Goans, the athletes, to my Indian players. And that is the government and the organizations or the clubs has to work together. I'm not going to say more on this, but I think most of the people will hurt this keynote address also. I know that, but I'm a straightforward man. I do not fear to anybody in this world, because I have reached over here after doing a struggle. I am not begged for any ticket in front of any party and all that. I have got elected and independently. After 17 years of struggle, I had been over this position. And that is why I take this opportunity. Though we are a very small group, we have a lot of potential. We have got that much capacity. We have that much abilities, but only there is a communication. There is a miscommunication. There is a communication gap. And somebody is talking, and with the advice of someone, and that if we are going to listen and to answer or to defame the image of anything, then I think it is improper. And that is why I will urge to my youth minds over here that we have to come together for upliftment of these sports, and we have to show that in the entire world, yes, Bharat to Mahashaktishali banega. And whenever we are going to reach to the each and every corner, then only it is possible us to take our India to the greatest height. I thanks each and everyone over here. And I am very much thankful the Sportstar for giving me the opportunity to say a few words in front of you. And I hope I have not taken your more time, but still very much thankful, and have a comfortable and the pleasant stay whoever come from the outside the Goa. Thank you very much.